As I promised, I'm making videos to answer questions from EC 285 Fall 2020. And the first question, very good question on Piazza, is what do you do if no ground? If there's no ground in the circuit, then no nodal voltages. So you can't expect to measure nodal voltages unless ground is defined. So if I ask you on the exam, what's VC, just VC by itself, and this ground is not there, you have to add ground somewhere. If I were you, then I would add VB as ground, for example. So if I ask you on the exam, what is VC, then you make VB equals 0, so it's 0 volts. Then VC will be V9, and then I'll come here and say VC will be 9 volts. So this is, if I am asking for nodal voltages and there's no ground in the circuit, you're allowed to put ground wherever you want and make it the simplest option for you. This is, however, not what homework 1 was asking. Homework 1 was asking for a voltage drop. So instead of writing nodal voltages here, I'm going to now use the same circuit without any ground and go more in the direction of homework 1, which is voltage drops. So what if there's no ground and you're asking just for a voltage drop? So a question 1, a reasonable question for me to ask related to your question 1 is, what is, let me see, VGVF. So VGF, which is also sometimes noted as VGVF, or it could also be noted like this. So if I ask you, what is this VXX? This means I'm putting a multimeter in there and it's floating. So a multimeter does not have ground, even though we keep saying, oh, that means the black side of the multimeter will be here and the red side will be here. So this will measure, minus V4. So really, VXX will be minus 4 volts. And this does not need any ground at all. So this is the answer. What do you do if there's no ground? You look at the 2 nodes, and you're interested really in this difference here. So had it been from VGVE, you're going to look, it's going to be VG minus VE. So it's going to be V3, V3, which is minus 3 volts, minus 4. Let's do this one. It's a reasonable one. So now I'm going to call this VY, and VY will be minus 3 minus 4. It's minus 7 volts. Also, it does not need any ground. So as you see, the multimeter you can put in anywhere on your circuit without having to find ground in any other node. Now the second question you asked, also a very good one, is what if there are 2 grounds? And I'm going to answer this in the next video. I feel like this is already very long.